Hey, 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 thank you for joining us. You have just tuned in to Where is the Love? I am one of the hosts. I am Stephanie Hockenhall, and my son is the other host.
You
Introduce
did.
yourself.
Uh, Formerly known as Gene Williams, now known as Adisa Malik, president accounted for. How y'all doing today?
How you doing? How you doing?
How you doing? How your people doing? How your mama doing? Everybody good?
Everybody good. Okay, welcome back to Where is the Love? And today's topic is one of those conversations that people have been waiting for.
So yes, because so many people are silently struggling with emotional hurt inside their own family system.
Okay, let me back it up. So my host wasn't ready. My host wasn't ready.
Well, I was
Listen,
expecting you to tell them where they can find us and stuff.
yes, and that's what I'm getting ready to do. Sorry, y'all. We get excited
She
when
jumped the
we're able.
gun. She jumped the gun, y'all.
I did a whole bunch of guns. Jump, 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 jump.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Oh!
I mean, old stuff.
So listen, y'all. If you are watching us right now, you can be watching us on Roku or Amazon Fire. All you got to do is search POD space LIVE. POD space LIVE. And you can watch us live only while the show is airing or if they do a replay. So you can watch us there. You can always watch us on our YouTube channels, Love Misunderstood Institute or Premier Fitness 0210.
I'm about to do something else. I don't know what my hands are doing.
Listen, today we're talking about healing after years of dealing with a narcissistic family member.
Lord. Yeah, because so many people are silently struggling with emotional hurt inside their own family system. And I also want to say thank you all, those who are tuning in right now. We know it's Super Bowl Sunday, so that means you are here intentionally. So thank you for joining us. We appreciate and love each and every one of you.
Yep. So we've been talking about the quiet bully. We've been talking about how to deal with the bully, and so now we're gonna talk about, and a narcissist is a bully too. But today
Oh,
we're specifically focusing on the narcissist, and so let's get started here.
all right.
So we're talking about patterns, right? Patterns like emotional manipulation, constant criticism, control, lack of accountability, and those jokes that don't feel funny. We all have experienced those. And if
Oh,
you've
yeah.
ever felt like you're walking on eggshells around someone, this episode is for you.
Oh, yeah. All right. So let's start here. What does narcissistic harm in families actually look like? Sometimes it looks loud, but oftentimes it's subtle.
Like what?
So, for instance, sarcasm, like little digs, mocking disguised as humor.
Oh,
Oh, that
trying
was
to
just
find a way to
joking.
feel yourself shrink inside.
Hmm. Yep. Or when you speak up and they say, "Oh, you too sensitive." I've heard that a lot.
Yeah, that's emotional invalidation. And over time, it trains people not to trust themselves. But you start thinking, maybe it's me.
Right. But no, your body knows disrespect when it experiences it. Because and there's a book out there, and it ain't my book, it ain't our book, but there's a book called The Body Keeps the Score. And it speaks about how narcissistic uh dealing with narcissists, your body begins to take on certain symptoms and things because of that. It could show up as anxiety, it could show up as fear, lack of sleep, and it can even show up, unfortunately, as disease.
Yeah. So Mark said a couple things here. I want to interject. Yeah, 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 Mark. I jumped the gun. He said I jumped the gun like gun smoke.
There we go.
He said I heard Uncle Jess from Beverly Hills wasn't hillbillies wasn't ready.
Right,
And
right.
then he said the darlings from Mayberry might be watching. They have to make sure that Otis isn't bullying. Oh my goodness, Mark is going crazy out here. He said, wonder which team would be trying to bully the other. And he said,
Mhm.
walking on eggshells is like walking on snow. And then he said, why you crying? And
Right.
then he said, also known as dis-ease. Yes, it is. Y'all,
Yep.
Mark is our producer. So when I say Mark said something, I'm talking about the producer.
Right. All right.
So,
So let's pause right here. And so if you're watching, I want you to ask yourself a few questions. Um, do you feel anxious before family gatherings? I know I do. Unfortunately, I felt anxious and had panic attacks before going home in a past relationship.
yeah,
Like, you having panic attacks and have to drive around the block a few times to calm yourself so that you can even step into the front door to possibly deal with some BS from some narcissistic, controlling, manipulative people.
yeah. And that's a
Mm.
horrible feeling to
Right,
have to get yourself together before you go into a situation because you're anxious because I don't know what's going to be happening when I get there, when I walk in there, or how their attitude is going to be, if they're going to be up or if they're going to be down right now. Well, I mean, what's really going on? So
right,
I'm all, you get yourself all anxious because you don't know what to expect. That's a
right.
horrible place to be.
Yeah. You have no idea if you're about to step onto a mine into a minefield or what. And you just
Yeah,
trying to come home to relax in your sanctuary.
yeah,
So the next question is: do you have to rehearse conversations in your head? Do you feel like you have to prepare yourself for a constant? I mean, not constant, a possible like argument
yeah,
over something small, or even over a conversation that you had about something that was minuscule, but they tend to blow things up.
yeah,
Um, do you leave feeling drained or ashamed?
yeah.
Um, yeah, and so that's not normal family tension. That's emotional harm.
So first, before we go on, I want Mark has a couple more comments here. Some people feel anxious about going to a Super Bowl party. He said he was talking to a guy at KFC that said he wouldn't have gone to party if he knew his cousin-in-law was a Patriots fan.
Oh Lord,
Fight, fight, fight. And then he also said, ironically, his cousin is a Seahawks fan. This was from a few years ago. He said, "I'm sure he was preparing for arguments." Yeah, that's something that's horrible, horrible place to be in. So let's talk about why it hurts so much. Son,
right?
our family narcissism hurts differently because,
Because it's family.
yeah,
You're supposed to be safe around family.
yes. Exactly. It's not just a rude person. There's somebody you're told you must honor, tolerate, forgive endlessly, and people confuse forgiveness with access.
Right. Exactly. And forgiveness does not mean you have to remain unprotected. You can forgive and still create distance. Now that's wisdom. You got to create those boundaries. Let them know,
Yeah.
hey, listen, I'm not dealing with that no more. Okay.
Yep.
And there's another saying is, and Mike and I, talked about this yesterday actually. Like there's the family that you're born into, the family that has your DNA, then there's the family that you choose. And the
Yeah.
family that you choose are the family members. And I mean, sometimes you have families that people that you're blood with that you can also put into this category, but the family that you choose always honors you. They
Yeah.
always treat you with respect and love, and their love is unconditional.
Yeah.
Um, and there are times when, and a lot of times, unfortunately, where family members are the ones who treat you the worst.
Yes.
Because you're family. Oh, well, this is how we are. I mean, It may be how you are, but I don't have to deal with that. I can
Mm,
choose to be like, you know what? This ain't working for me and you don't want to change. All right, I'll change.
yep,
Deuce.
yep.
To
And
the
that's
left, to the left.
and that's how it has to be, because if you don't change it, it's gonna continue, because they are right with what they doing, how they
Right.
acting, how they treating you. They don't care. They just want to continue doing what they doing. So Mark said, like when folks ask about why you working that job, sometimes bullies belittle your work. Yes, they do.
Mhm.
And he said he wrote an essay in a book. He talked about your soul family. Book
Yep.
was released early last year. Congratulations. You didn't say nothing
Yeah,
about it. Mark.
exactly.
Congratulations. Had
Awesome.
something to tell you. So let's talk about how healing begins. How do you start? How do you start healing after years of this? You've been going through this mess for years. How
Right.
do you start healing from this?
Yeah. So first and foremost, healing begins when you stop trying to get them to change and you change yourself. You change your environment. Because the truth is, you can't change anybody. You can only change yourself.
Yeah. And that's hard because you want them to stop so bad that you might be thinking, how can I change, and what can I do, what can I say to make them change and stop this behavior towards me? Nothing, because they
Yeah.
gotta want it. So there's nothing you can do. You can't change them.
Right.
So
Exactly.
it's hard.
Yeah. It's very hard. Yeah, and that's because many people stay stuck hoping, well, one day they'll see it, one day they'll apologize. The healing starts when you accept the fact that they may never be who I need them to be,
Yep.
and
And
also like it's like a drug addict, you know, they're
yep.
addicted to the high that they get from the actions that they're doing, and that's so just like we're talking about narcissists, you have to eliminate their supply.
Yes.
So sometimes you got to stay away from them, and if you got to deal with them, there's what is it, gray rocking, where
Yes.
you when you talk to them, you
Yep.
respond in very
Yep.
short, succinct manner. You
Yep.
keep you keep it factual, you keep it short, and you keep it monotone as possible.
Yeah.
Because any emotions that you show, they will use as fuel to use that against you.
Right. And we're gonna talk a little bit about gray rock and in throughout the in this show. So just knowing that they may never be who you needed them to be, that's grief. That's real grief.
Right.
So we want to share a few steps to healing with you. So healing, step number one, name it. Step one is naming it. Saying something like, that comment was disrespectful. That was manipulation. That was cruelty disguised as humor. So name
Yeah.
it.
Yep. Yeah. The first, so and as we know with AA, was it AA? Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yeah.
Alcoholics Anonymous. Ooh, I put that together. The first step to healing is acknowledgement. You have to
Yeah.
acknowledge what the issue is, or that you have an issue.
Yeah.
And so that goes to just to add to naming it. So the next step is grieve. People don't realize that healing includes grief. Grieving what you didn't get,
Yeah.
the loving parent, the supportive sibling, the safe home. Like you have to acknowledge and grieve the process and the loss.
Yeah.
Because like you didn't have that loving parent that you wanted. You have to grieve that desire. I wanted a loving parent, but I didn't get that. You got to go through that grieving process. It's like a death. It's like a death. You have to grieve.
And so we talked on another show recently about inner child work. And in that inner child work, you give yourself what you wish you had back then. You can give
Right.
it to yourself now. Um,
Yeah.
that'll settle that. I mean, that'll help you get past what you didn't get. Your focus won't be so on that. Your focus will be on, well, I can give me what I needed back then. I
Right.
can hug myself. I can love myself. I can tell myself I love me. You
Yep.
know, I can tell myself you are loved. Things like that you can give yourself now when you're going through, when you're doing inner child work. That's dealing with those wounds and those hurts from your childhood that are still not settled right now. That you can do that, give that to yourself. Give it to yourself as a gift, and then you'll
Yep.
have it, and forgive that person that didn't give it to you. Why did they not give it to you? You may never know. But people hurt. We all deal with hurt. And so we all got our bags of stuff that we're carrying. So don't focus so much on, well, they didn't give it to me. Focus on what can I do to give myself what I wanted and didn't have so that I can deal with this feeling,
Right.
this desire that I wanted. You want to add something?
Definitely. So I want to go back to what you said about forgiveness. Let's make it very clear. Forgiveness does not mean that they get access to you again. You can
Yeah,
forgive a person and keep them at arm's length. Because again, healing is about you.
yeah,
Healing is about you, your personal healing process. It's not about putting on a show. Well, I'm over this now. Nah, it ain't about that. It's not about a show. It's not about, your healing looking like what other people think it should. And the truth of it all is that healing is ugly at times. Most of the times. I mean, think about a scar. You get a cut, you know, it's wide open. And then it
yeah,
begins to close and pus forms. And then, a scab forms. And then after that, it heals up and you got a scar there.
yeah.
That's not pretty, but it's necessary for the healing process.
Yes, it is. And I was gonna add something to it while you were talking. Now I can't remember what that was, but oh, forgiveness. So for me, I'm a certified forgiveness coach. And I didn't really fully understand when people used to say forgiveness is for you and not for them. I didn't understand that for many years. So what I did when it came to forgiveness is I would avoid. I don't want to be around that person. I don't want to see them because they're gonna hurt me again. And my understanding was if I forgive them, that means they can come around me. I still have to keep going around them or allow them to come around me. And I have to take that abuse. So that's what I understood. And
Yeah.
once I understood and really, really grabbed a hold of forgiveness is for me, it's to give me peace because that person that said or did something to hurt me, they're going on. They don't care. They didn't care when they said it because they
Right.
haven't came back and said, I'm sorry, I apologize. So they meant it. So once I learned and really understood I don't have to
Right.
be around you. I can love you from a distance.
From a
I, as
distance.
long as I'm, huh?
I said from a distance. From
Not from a distance, from a
a
distance.
distance. Gotta
So,
say it with depth.
oh, say it with my chest, head up, chest up, chest
Hey,
out.
from a distance.
So, y'all, anyway, I was really, really thankful once I understood that I didn't have to go around that person anymore or those people, or that I didn't have to allow them to come around me. Because I was still not wanting, not, I still didn't have enough boldness and courage to speak up to, um, take up for myself or to stand up for myself. And it always depended on who it is. There's always some that you can stand up to easily and then others you can't. And so that's what I was still going through and still, going through the self, what is it? Pleasing,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
not self pleasing. What is it? People pleasing. I was still
Mhm.
going through that people pleasing. Well, maybe if I treat them nice, then they'll change, and none of that stuff works. So when you really understand forgiveness and you understand that it's to give you peace, and it will give you peace if you just accept the fact that, okay, this person ain't gonna give me what I want, or ain't gonna treat me the way I want. So I have to be okay with not being around them. I have to be okay with not talking to them. I can't allow what they're saying and what they're doing to hurt me, because I got a choice. And my
Right.
choice is not that.
Right.
So I just wanted to add that. You want to add something else?
Yeah, I was going to say, going back to something that you said earlier, to capstone that, it's like you said something about going back to your inner child and feeding your inner child what you desired and deserved. So I want to take that a step further. Like, we need to stop looking externally
Yeah.
for others to provide happiness for us. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
make this story short, but Danica and I talk about this often. That it's not my job to make her happy, and vice
Yep.
versa.
Yep.
My happiness is my job, and her
Yep.
happiness is her job.
Yep.
And so you automatically, when you look outwardly for someone to give you something, you're giving away your own personal power.
Yeah.
And when you internalize that desire and you give it to yourself, you reclaim your own power. You reclaim your personal power. So that's the first step. Reclaim your personal power. Stop looking outwardly, externally for someone to do something for you that you can do for yourself.
Yeah.
All the love and everything that you need is within you. You've been
Yes.
gifted with that from the beginning.
Yes. Amen, preacher. Preach, preacher.
This phone.
We keep dropping stuff.
That was the that was the Lord.
All right. So we're gonna give you step 3 and a few steps to healing with you. Um, and so this is step 3: rebuild self-trust. So narcissistic families teach you not to trust your feelings. So healing is saying my emotions are valid.
Hmm. Yeah. So just to add to that a little bit, something that narcissists do really well, so we talked about um, gaslighting. We talked about gaslighting a good while ago. But one of the things that narcissists do with gaslighting is that it's called crazy making. So you know what happened.
Yeah.
Like, factually, you know that they said this and I felt this. Well, I didn't say that. I said, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
it's like, after they do that for a while, you start to think, well, did I? Well, did they really say that, or did I say that? Or, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It
Yep.
makes you question what you know to be factual and
Right.
what is a reality.
Yep.
And that's called crazy making.
Yeah. And that is crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. So next, let's talk about boundaries. One of my favorite words, boundaries. All right.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about boundaries because this is where people often struggle. And I know I have in the past.
So have I, and I still do sometimes, but not
Yep.
near as much as I used to. But yeah, because people think boundaries are disrespectful.
But boundaries are protection,
Say
self
it
protection.
louder, louder.
Boundaries are protection, yo. Protect yourself. Protect yourself first. Put your fist up.
Oh Lord. So just remember, boundaries are not punishment; they are stewardship.
Yes, Lord. All right, so let's give some examples and let's give the people some real words.
Yes,
So
yes,
when the narcissist makes a joke, say that didn't feel funny to me.
yes,
And when they say you're too sensitive, say I'm sensitive to disrespect.
yep,
And you got to say it just like that. Look them
yes,
right in the eyes. Keep it
yep,
real simple. Keep it very poignant, and tell them to speak truth to power.
yeah,
You thought you did that to put me down, and I
yep,
don't like that. Or
right,
you being too sensitive. I'm
Yep.
sensitive to the disrespect.
Yep.
Let's not do that anymore.
Right. And when you say it like that and in that tone, then they be like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. I
So,
got a little story real quick.
okay.
So you know who this person was notorious for putting their for physically abusing. And we had a conversation. Later on, it was like, if you ever do this again, I'm gonna hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
And so the person, it took a long time for the person to try it again, but they start marching towards me with their fist balled up, like they were about to do something. And I just looked up from my phone. You better back up to the end of that bed. Oh, oh, okay. Is this far enough? And I just looked, chuckled, and then went back to watching my movie.
Hey, Anita McGee Tool and Bear
Hey,
Broughton and Lorenzo Smith. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all.
nice. We got a crowd up in here. How y'all doing today?
Okay, so when they keep poking at you, say, let's not do that. Okay. Let's not do that. Okay. And when you need to exit, say, I'm stepping away now.
Right. All right. So here are a few key reminders, and these are important. First, you don't need long explanations.
Yeah.
Remember, short boundaries are powerful. And short boundaries means setting direct, firm, and concise limits on behavior without offering long explanations or exchanging an emotional justification. Because as we said before, if you talk too long, they're gonna use that against you.
Right.
If you set unclear boundaries, they'll use that against you. If you get emotional, they'll use that against you. That's three forms of narcissistic feed right there. They're
Yeah.
looking for you to explain yourself. They're looking
Yeah.
for you to make, blanket terms, or it's like, well, I didn't do it this, so I'm gonna do it differently next time. Or
Yeah.
if you get emotional, oh my God, they eat that up. They love it when you get emotional. Or
Yep.
you start hollering, oh, you crazy.
Yep.
I may
Oh,
be. I may
right.
be. You want to see crazy? I can show you crazy. Anyway, I don't know. Like James Brown said, I don't know karate, but I know crazy.
Thank you, Miss Beverly. She said this is good. And then Anita said, Amen. And Miss Beverly did too. Okay, let's talk about it. How can we help other family members? Let's talk about that because they need help too. So, what about family members who are hurting too?
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you can see them shrinking.
Or coping by staying silent? And
Man.
that's hurtful to watch that and to see it because you know how you feel when it's happening to you, but to see it happening to them,
Right.
it's hurt because you see other people are getting it too, and you know how you feel. So you know how much that hurts.
Right. And it's important when you see people in that position to step up for them. Because
Yeah,
obviously in that moment they don't have it. They don't have
yeah,
that feeling of being powerful in that
yeah,
moment. So you be that mechanism for freedom for them. You speak up, you give them that freedom. Hey, don't talk to them like that.
yeah,
And you tell them you don't have to accept that.
yeah.
You don't have to accept that at all.
And we know how it feels because we experienced it for so long, and that's why we talk about it. To let people know, hey, you're not by yourself. Get you a support system, get you somebody that will listen to you, but don't hold that in. You know, um, Jean talked a little bit about the body keeps the score a little bit ago. So let's move on unless you want to add something.
I'm good.
Okay.
So just know that you can't force healing, but you can validate just by saying, I saw that and that wasn't okay.
Absolutely. That breaks the gaslighting. You mentioned gaslighting a while ago. That breaks that, making me feel like I'm crazy, making you do something mean to me or, say something crazy to me. And then I say something back and now I'm the crazy one. No,
Right.
You brought me here. This ain't what you want. I mean,
Well, got cocking head to the side. Well,
Miss Beverly said well a while ago.
something that Nana used to say. Something that Nana used to say all the time, and I live by this now. She used to say all the time, "Baby, it's not what they call you; it's what you answer to."
Yeah.
In situations like this, you're gonna have the person who's a narc. When you tell them hard stop. This is a wall. I'm not accepting that anymore. Oh, you just you think you too good. They gonna say something
Yeah.
to devalue you stepping up for yourself.
Yeah.
And something I've started doing is when a person says something about me that I know is not true, that's your truth, not mine. That's your narrative, not mine.
Yeah.
That's not who I am. That's who you see me as because it's a narrative that works for you. So you can
Yeah.
operate in that narrative if you so please. But I'm not operating that way.
Doesn't it feel wonderful to feel that way now? I mean, we used to hurt and hurt and hurt because of things people said and things that people did to us. So, isn't it wonderful to not take in what somebody else is giving? I don't have to take that. That's what
Right.
you're giving. I don't have to take it. I don't want it. I don't want you. So, goodbye.
Right.
However you have to do it. If you want peace, that's what you're going to have to do.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to activate that inner power,
Yeah.
knowing that you are the creator of your reality. And when you give people like the option to make you question what is true to you, then you're giving away your power.
Yeah. And we have a choice to hold on to our power or to give it to somebody else. You give
Right.
it to somebody else, they're gonna beat you the heck down because that's what they do.
Oh yeah.
That's how they roll. If that's what they doing, then that's how they roll. So you got a choice. Do I want this or no? Or no?
Right. Or no.
Right.
Or no.
Yep.
Or hecky no. I'm saying like that. Hecky no. Try not to curse on your show.
Thank you.
Because once I start, it's a snowball situation.
Yeah, yeah. Make it a clean show. So give them some tips to practice for family healing.
Got you. All right. So one thing you can do is have a weekly reality check. Ask questions like, "What moment felt heavy this week for you?
Yeah.
Um, what truth do you need to remember? What boundary can protect you next time?"
Yeah. When you can't go non-contact is what we're gonna be talking about next. So no contact means that you cut off their supply of attention and their attempts to reestablish control. So when somebody is treating you bad, I just said it, you have a choice to cut them off. Just no contact. I'm not dealing with you because
Yep.
I'm not on right now.
Man.
So, and when we understand that some people watching just can't cut ties. Now, do we understand that? I mean,
Oh
we
yeah.
we have to make a choice. We have a choice. We have a choice in everything, just like they do.
Right. Yeah. In certain situations, you can go completely no contact. For instance, you may live with them. You may
Yeah,
share children with them, or it may be a close family system. In those situations, you just have to be very vigilant about the boundaries that you set. And you have to, now I mean have to, all capital letters, uphold those boundaries and don't let anyone circumnavigate those.
yeah,
Because if you do, with any narcissistic, a person with narcissistic personality disorder, you give them an inch, they take a mile,
yep,
and they take more and more.
yep. And they take it fast. Before
Oh
you
yeah.
know it, you swallowed up under their control
Yep.
because you didn't speak up. You didn't create the boundaries. You didn't, um, what is it? Speak the words. How did we say that at first? We didn't. You got to name it. So
No,
you
right,
got to name what it is
right,
and refuse to take it.
right.
Remember, you got a choice.
Yeah.
So then we can focus on detachment, which means the process of emotionally, mentally, and physically unhooking yourself from their manipulation, their drama, and control to regain your own peace and autonomy. Ain't that what we were just talking about?
Yep.
You have a
Yep.
choice about your peace. You want your peace, then you gotta get away from them. They ain't gonna when somebody is allowed to control you, they not just gonna break away from you because they love it. They enjoy it. Sometimes you even see a smirk on their face. Yeah. Yep. Supply. Y'all see
Yes,
that?
Lord.
That drug supply. Give it to me. Give it to me. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so go ahead.
So I mentioned earlier the gray rock method. So we're going to talk about that a little bit.
So explain that.
All right. So, and this is a method that we talked about in earlier shows, but also this was a tool that my therapist gave me some time back, and it worked wonders. And narcissistic people with narcissistic personality disorder hate this with a passion, and I so love it. So gray rock means you don't feed the dysfunction, ignoring, downplaying, or avoiding emotional responses to hopefully quash a narcissist, which means intentionally becoming as uninteresting, unresponsive, and emotionally detached as possible, like a boring gray rock,
Yeah.
to starve them of the emotional drama, attention, or reactions they crave.
Yes.
Responses like, or okay, or I hear you, and
Yep.
keep it at
Yep.
that.
Yep. They don't like that. So the stuff that Jean just said is so neutral. It's not emotional, huh? When dealing with the narcissist, being neutral means withholding emotional reactions, both positive and negative, to their
Yep.
behavior. It's a strategy used to disarm a narcissist. Did y'all hear that? A
Mhm.
strategy used to disarm a narcissist by depriving them of their narcissistic supply. Do it again, Gene. Narcissistic supply. That drug. So their narcissistic supply is attention, drama, validation, or fear. That's what they crave to feel powerful.
Right. And also, even showing like positive emotion, like for saying to a person that has shown that you are their narcissistic feed,
Yeah,
telling them that you love them or that you miss them or something
yeah,
like that, even though that's how quote unquote normal people you know communicate with people that they love. You got to take that part out.
yeah,
Like for instance, there's someone that I miss very dearly, and when I told this person that I missed them, they went off on a tangent, like hurling insults and things like that. I
yeah,
missed the person that I thought you were. What?
yeah,
What? So
yeah,
now my interaction with that person, when I do get to speak to this person, it's I hope that you're well, and I leave it at that. No more, no less.
yeah,
There's no feelings in that. I'm getting across. I'm being factual. I hope that you're well. It shows concern, but I'm not going over with the concern. I'm laying it there. Hope that you're
yeah,
well,
yeah,
and that's it. And I leave it alone.
yeah,
And don't think that gray rocking doesn't hurt, but it's powerful because you get to step back and not be so enthralled in the situation that you get lost in it, that you drown yourself in the desire to have that closeness that they refuse to give you because
yeah,
clever enough to realize that, okay, so they show emotion. If I pull back and basically gray rock them, then I got the power. And it's always with narcissists, it's a power play at all times. It's a power play.
Yep. So we got a few people here. Pastor Darlin, Deborah Walker joined too. Um, so this is a very touchy subject, specifically because we have family members um, and have had family members that are narcissists. Um,
Oh, yeah.
Learning how to deal with them has been very hard for us, um, but we keep pushing. We're on a healing journey where our focus is to create a legacy of love in spite of all of the
Right,
things that happen. You know, bad things that's happened, things that's been said, things that's been done. That's not our focus.
right,
At one time it was, because we didn't know how to heal. We didn't know what we needed. We wanted love. Where is the love? That's why this show is Where is the Love? Partially why.
yeah,
Um, because people bully you and treat you bad, you know, and think that it's okay. So where's the love? If you love me, you wouldn't abuse me. You wouldn't bully me. You wouldn't try to control me. You wouldn't, the stuff we're talking about today, you wouldn't do those things.
right,
That's not real love. Keep it. We don't want it.
right.
So I'm so, go ahead. You want to say something?
I was just gonna say that's love. That's love with conditions.
Yep.
As long as
And
I can do and say what I want to do to you, then I love you. Now
yeah,
that's tolerance. There's a difference.
yeah. And thanks be to God, we can see the difference and we know the difference, and we ain't caught up in, you know, what our understanding of love was. You know, our love, what we thought was love and how we were receiving love was misunderstood. So, AK, just shameless plug, Love Misunderstood Institute is our nonprofit organization. So, Love Misunderstood Institute, where's the love? I mean, come on now. We're working on this. We healing. We healing.
Right,
Forget that stuff. Yes, it happened. Yes, it keeps happening. But
right,
that's not our focus. It's just
right.
not our focus. And we want to help other people.
Yeah. And I want to go back to something that we said. I know there are new people on the listening in. I want to say this very clearly. Healing is often an ugly process.
Yes.
You know, there's going to be times where while you're going through your healing process, you're going to be crying so hard that you're snotting. You may get angry. You may get frustrated. You may get tired. That's normal. But
Yes.
stay focused on your goal. Let your attention and your focus be laser like, as
Yes.
opposed to a light bulb. A light bulb goes out, it's broad, but a laser is focused, fine
Yes.
point focused,
Yep.
and you get through it. You're gonna have those times where you're sad or you're angry or confused. That's normal. But
Yes.
keep pushing. Keep
Right.
pushing. If everything that happened in our lives was easy, we would never grow.
Right.
We would never grow.
Yep. Thank you for that, son. That's awesome. So let's change the trajectory here. So how do we change the trajectory?
Um, well, you may not change the narcissist for sure.
You can stop feeding the dysfunction. We talked a little bit about that already. You can disrupt the unhealthy dynamic. You can refuse to participate in the system they rely on. Don't go there with them. Let them go by themselves. Don't let people treat you bad and talk mean to you without saying something. And something I want to add right here before we continue is it's so important. I cannot say how important, cannot express this enough. We have got to build ourselves up love ourselves. We've got to encourage ourselves. We've got to um, say affirmations. We've got to, read scripture. We got to do stuff like that to build ourselves up. Because otherwise, the narcissist is gonna keep beating us down and keep beating us down, and they're loving it,
Right.
and we're hurting if we choose to allow that hurt.
Yep.
So
Yep.
they gonna go there. They gonna take you there because that's where they at. But
Yeah.
remember, you got a choice.
Right.
I want to go with them. Go
Right.
ahead. What you gonna say?
I was going to say something also you can do. I mean, because there's so many methods to helping you process and transmute the negative energy that you're dealing with when you're dealing with a narcissistic person.
Yes.
Meditation was a huge thing for me, and
Yeah.
still is. Meditation, getting to know myself mentally and emotionally, knowing my trigger points. Um, when I'm in a state of frustration, exercise is a big thing. You know, you can hop on your yoga mat, you can go for a run, you can lift weights, hit a punching bag, listen to music, create music. There are so many different ways that you can, again, um, constructively work through the pain that you're going through.
Yep.
Um, but it's important for you to find something that is going to help build you up when people are constantly trying to tear you down.
Yep.
You know, it's like when you go through the process of dealing with something that breaks you, you got to find something healthy to fill yourself back up with.
Yep. And that's the point I was making. It has to be something, a way that you build yourself back up, because otherwise you're gonna keep letting them beat you down, and before you know it, you right where they want you, beat down, crying, hurt, um, feeling unloved, and all of those things that are
Yep.
not things that we have to accept or receive.
Yep. Yeah. Just being in a relationship with a person who was narcissistic, I lost myself for years. I
Yeah.
lost myself for years. I allowed that person to isolate me, to make me get away from things I love and that brought me peace, to the point where I became a person that I didn't know anymore. I was more like, their automaton.
Yeah.
And as I began to awaken again to that realization, and even in that time while I was that person's automaton, they still didn't love me and they still didn't treat me well.
Yeah.
But as soon as I started waking up and becoming aware of the fact that I'm no longer happy with who I am and where I am, and start doing something about it, oh, the abuse got so much worse.
Yeah.
And so,
So
and that kind of goes. Sorry,
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say it kind of goes to the next point that we want to raise. Changing the trajectory is when we stop normalizing cruelty. I want to say
Yeah.
that one more time. The trajectory changes when people stop normalizing cruelty. Cruelty
Yeah.
is not love.
At all. And when the family stops laughing at all, right?
You kind of cut in and out on me.
So when the family stops laughing at all, right?
Right,
Uh, Laughing the cruelty, normalizing the cruelty, when they
right,
stop laughing at all, because it's not funny, it's hurtful.
right. Yep, right. And it's when peace becomes the priority.
Yes. And God did not call us to be emotionally abused to prove love. Jesus loved people and he still walked away from manipulation. Peace is biblical. So, Pastor Derlin made a comment here. He said, "You all are saying some good things. I suffered for years being bullied. Um,
Hmm.
being being bullied is a hurtful thing, and when he's a pastor, so being in the pulpit, I can't even imagine. I mean, you're up here trying to, doing your best to give the word and to build people up and encourage people. And he and I had this conversation last year. I was in Wichita, and we had the conversation about how pastors are taking their lives, dying by suicide. If I'm giving you, the congregation, all that I can give you, but you're giving me bad stuff. You're talking about me, beating me down with your words and your actions and your attitudes and all of that. And sometimes they don't want to go. This was part of our conversation. Sometimes they don't want to go to people, other people. They don't reach out to other people. Sometimes to get help or to let other people know what's going on. They're doing it all trying to attempting to be strong, and I can't let people know that I'm weak or that I'm suffering or that I'm hurting because I'm a pastor, and they don't expect this from a pastor. They expect me to be strong, but y'all hurt too, y'all people too,
Yep.
and we talked about that. And so that's even more hurtful when you don't have a support system. You don't have somebody that you can talk to about your pain, because they might talk about me, or they gonna put me down, or those kind of things are very hurtful. So then you keep it inside.
Right.
988, you can call 988. That's one place you can call. You don't even know those people, but you just
Yep.
call 988 and they will talk to you. So it's
Yep.
not only the suicide hotline, but it's the mental health hotline. You can call them, talk to them. At least you're getting it out. If you don't, if you weren't here at the, beginning of the show when Gene was talking about the body keeps the score, we talked about it a number of different times about how things stress stores in your body
Yep.
somewhere. And Mark even said it. I read his comment earlier about it being dis-ease. You know,
Hmm.
it's gonna store somewhere in your body. It ain't going nowhere because you're not letting it out.
Right.
So you want to add something before I go on?
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, I love the point that you made, and so one of the main things I wanted to bring up, you said support system. That's
Yes.
so important. We need to all have a support system. We
Yes.
need to we need to have a system of people who we can talk to, who we can be vulnerable with, who we can be a blubbering fool, crying our eyes out. You know
Yep.
what I mean? And even have the opportunity, if you're angry, to express the anger in a constructive manner, but
Yes.
express it. I mean, we have dis-ease, or a body that is not at ease, because we store things, and it's like a seed. You bury a seed in dirt, and then the more you experience it, that's water to that seed. So
Yes.
you grow something that eventually could kill you. I
Yes.
think. And I've talked about this before, and I will always talk about this, and to me this is a very important thing. Not only 988, but there's buildingbridgeskc.org. There's
Yes.
also, betterhelp.com.
Yep.
Those are, I think, and I love the fact that now in this day and age that we are more awake and aware, and not like thinking, well, I mean, there's still people who think this, but thinking that therapy is for people who are crazy. Nah, I mean, therapy is for people who are trying not to go crazy. You
Right.
know, it's
Yeah.
like you. One of the things that I learned in my therapy is I'm given tools to help me process things in a constructive, healthy manner. The therapist helps you look at yourself.
Yeah.
The therapist holds a mirror up to you and helps you see things for what they truly are, and
Yeah.
not just as you perceive them to be. Because
Yeah.
that's a lot of things. We perceive things to be a certain way, but it's not that way. So we create realities around our perceptions as opposed to what's reality. So the
Yeah.
therapist helps you see things for what they truly are, and
Yeah.
not just your perception. And then again, getting the tools to help you process things in a constructive manner, so you don't deconstruct and destroy yourself, you
Yeah.
know? And that's so important.
Yeah. So a few of the things, thank you for sharing. A few of the things that we have learned to do that has been very helpful for us, and that is helpful for a lot of other people, is journaling. We used to talk about that a lot.
Yep.
Journaling is very important. Guess what? You're getting it out. You're getting it out of here, and that's the whole purpose. You're
Yep.
not holding on to it and storing it up in your body. So
Yep.
journaling, what's reading a book, listening to music, whatever it is that takes you to a place of peace in your
Mhm.
mind at that time is very helpful. Because, like Jean said, the stigma used to be that um, going to therapy, you crazy. You go to therapy, because you crazy. So no, therapy is very helpful. It's so those are things, a few of the things. Jean, share some of because I was gonna say it, but some of the people don't know what you do. So share what you do to your yoga, your job.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. So I'm a yoga instructor, personal trainer, group fitness instructor. I got a lot of things going on in fitness. But that exercise has always been a way for me to help me process emotions. Um, and just the breathing aspect of yoga alone, like when you're in a stressful situation, taking that time to pause and take a deep breath, filling your lungs all the way up from the bottom to the top, and then holding it there for a second, then exhaling, consciously exhaling the stress, and doing that 3 to 5 times. Once you do that, like, you will be in a different mind state because your body actually releases um, serotonin and dopamines that help you calm down.
Yeah,
Also slows down your heart rate.
yeah,
And when you're in a stressful state, the amygdala, which is a part of your brain, becomes overactive and begins to secrete adrenaline, which
yeah,
only increases the chaos. So when
yeah,
you're able to take that breath, it calms the amygdala down, calms the heart rate down, releases serotonin and dopamines to help you be calm in that frustrating, high intense moment.
yeah. So they also have adult coloring books. You can color, you can paint. You can find something that you enjoy and do that at the moment that you feel so stressed that you feel like you just can't move on without getting madder.
Right.
Um, anything else you want to share?
No, this was a great episode. I truly enjoyed this one.
Yeah, y'all, we are going to be talking more about the narcissist and dealing with the narcissist and helping, yourself and helping your family members to deal with the narcissist, because this is it's a very hard thing to deal with those kinds of with people that have those kinds of attitudes. Make sure that you talk to somebody, as we've said. Make sure that you get have a support system, somebody that you can trust, that you can talk to. And we're going to be talking about this some more in the next week or two. So join us again, and you can always go to our YouTube channels, Love Misunderstood Institute or Premier Fitness 0210, and watch the replay. We love comments. We love interacting with the audience because
Absolutely.
we're here to help as much as possible. And
Yeah.
so we just want to say thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part of the show. We send you away with peace, 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 and love. Take care. Bye for now. See you next Sunday at 5. That's it.
Next Sunday at 5.
Sorry. Next Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here, wherever you're watching us from. That's it.